We're staying at an Airbnb with Susan in the town of Winston for about 4 days before we get on the trail, and today we're visiting the Mount Hebron Cemetery. Alright, we just entered the cemetery and we're just going to figure out where we need to go first. Confederate cemetery straight ahead. The grave of General Daniel Morgan is to the left. It's a beautiful day, 77 degrees, and we're heading towards General Morgan's cemetery, or grave marker.
That was common in the tombstones and the old...
This place is huge. If you visit the Confederate cemetery, make sure you put a lot of time aside to visit. There are a lot of gravestones. We're at the Stonewall Cemetery, and there are 3,000 Confederate soldiers resting here. This is the area for Georgia soldiers, and then their markers. And then in the back there, it looks like is for Arkansas. You see kind of, oops, my finger, right there. And then if you pan over this way, I think there's Texas, and I'll have to see what other states. It's a huge area. Here's the monument for the state of Virginia. And here's all the gravestones for their soldiers. And behind these, there is a monument for the unknown and unrecorded dead. And it's that monument way back there. We just came across the gravesite for John Hadley, and this was the judge that built the Hadley Library that we visited yesterday. And it's just a beautiful monument here. This is a view of the cemetery looking west from the John Hadley gravesite. It's hard to see on this monument since it's faded, but this is the soldiers from North Carolina. And then it looks like Florida is that white monument behind, over there. This area is dedicated to the soldiers from South Carolina. There's about 149 Confederate soldiers buried in this section. Oh, it looks like Alabama is, their monument's back there. And then over this direction, it looks like it's Louisiana. And we're at the Old Town Pedestrian Walk. There's a lot of historical businesses here and museums. This is an early 19th century stone building that was relocated to this site in 2004. Here's the old church that they have, First Presbyterian Church. This is a really neat place where people can walk and take in some of the historical buildings. There's a courthouse built in 1840 and a great museum inside. Out here in front of the courthouse during the Civil War, a lot of prisoners were housed before they were shipped off to prison camps. So we're inside the courthouse in the center square, and this was built in 1840. But during the Civil War, it served as a surgery. In this photo of the courthouse, you can see they originally had a fence built around the front, and it housed some of the Confederate prisoners. Below is some actual graffiti. It's in this case to preserve it. Here's some graffiti left on this wall by probably one of the hundreds of Union prisoners who were crammed in this room during the Civil War. It's not hard to imagine a soldier, frightened and angry, carving on the wall while his fellow prisoners kept to watch out for guards and egged him on. Variations of this curse were popular among Federal soldiers during the war. Damning Confederate President Jefferson Davis to hell was one of the worst things you could say in the religious age. And there's where they've darkened it up on a poster. Here's what it actually says. Here are some of the artifacts that they've uncovered here. We've got camp skillets, drinking cups, canteens. It looks like they call it a Sibley stove. It's a straight edge razor, gaming dice, harp, writing pencil and pen tips right there. In the courthouse, we're able to actually ring the bell. You can see possibly up there. Let's see if I can look up there.
The original bell was melted down to make ornaments.
There's the bell up there. Can you pull the cord, please?
It's 880 pounds.
Wow, 890 pounds. See, and you see the bell moving up on the tower. Oh, that is so neat. Here's a look at the upstairs of the museum. This is where they held some of the prisoners as well when they were waiting to go downstairs into the courtroom. And throughout you can see the graffiti again on the walls have been preserved. You can barely see it in there, but there's some writing. It's amazing that the number of times that the Confederate and Union forces exchanged control in Winchester. It was a total of 72 times. And sometimes they exchanged control at least 2 or 3 times a day. Here's the Hadley Library. It was constructed in 1909. The library was gifted to the city of Winchester by Judge John Hadley. Inside the county library, look up, they have a dome ceiling. There's 3 stories. And we came in below, and we're just making our way up the staircase. Again, we're looking down at the main area as you come in. Beautiful building. It was designed to represent the shape of an open book standing on its bottom edge. The rotunda represents the spine of the book, and with the side halls and reading rooms to the left and right representing the back and front covers of the book. We're able going down to the next floor. One thing interesting about this light fixture, it goes all the way down to through the 3 floors. And I bet that is just really heavy, but that is gorgeous. So there's 1, 2, 3 light fixtures on this one chain. We're on the 2nd floor. In this part of the library, they've got this cool staircase, but it's closed. We're not allowed to go down. It goes to the lower level. And then the interesting thing is they've got a glass tiled floor. It's really neat. Going into one of their reading rooms. A beautiful fireplace. It's massive. Right now, we're going into the West reading room. There's another fireplace at the end. There's a beautiful painting above.